Check 1 2. Check 1 2 2. Check 1 2.
Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the RP Show, episode number 576 of Canada's daytime sports talk show, coming to you live from the Beach House in beautiful Pompano Beach, Florida, where I did not check the temperature today, but it's around 100 plus Fahrenheit with the humidity. We can bring Moose back in. We got the Moose in the bunker at home. By the way, hey, what's going on? You.
I jumped on a flight in the break. Does that look familiar back there? Which way? That way?
Is that yeah.
That's
why not, right?
That's the photo you sent. That should be over your right shoulder.
Well, looks like a perfect team to me, Moose.
Anyways.
You're going to be hot in that. You're going to be hot in that bunny hug, though.
Yeah.
How about that?
News today. Tua Tagovailoa has fractured ribs and will not play Sunday when the Miami Dolphins visit the Las Vegas Raiders. The Dolphins announced the updated status this morning after initial tests suggested Tua was dealing with bruised ribs. Further exams showed the fractures, and the Dolphins already have decided that Jacoby Brissett will start this weekend. Now, did you tell me how much of that game you watched on Sunday, the blowout, the Bills 35, the Dolphins 0? Because Tua wasn't making any difference in the game.
I know.
By the way, he was Jacoby Brissett was actually decent when he came in. I don't know. Listen, he's the number one guy. I get it. But the Dolphins' problems, at least last week, go further than Tua.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Absolutely awesome to see you down in Florida, Roddy. Unfortunately, you are at the grind, working. LOL. Enjoy it, man. You deserve it.
How about that?
Listen, please don't feel sorry for me. Darren, do you feel sorry for me that I got to work?
I feel sorry for me.
Exactly.
From the Slurpee capital to the land of the newlywed and the nearly dead, it's sunny Florida with the Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Rick Regan. Happy Thursday, everybody. And welcome to Canada's daytime sports talk show. I prefer the Sunshine State, guys. I really do. And if you can believe it's even hotter today than it was yesterday, we continue to broadcast live from the Beach House in beautiful and sunny Pompano Beach, Florida. RP here. Moose DuPont is back in the studio, and there he is. How you doing, Moose? Do you have a sweater on today? What's up?
I do, yeah. Well, it's only going to be, what, is it going to hit 70 degrees here? Probably not.
Ooh.
I think it was,
poor guy.
18 or 19 Celsius, I know. So what happened to the rain? We were talking yesterday. It's supposed to be rain in the forecast today. Not the case.
I don't know. It sprinkles like once a day, I've found here, and then it's sunshine the rest of the time. But I got to tell you, Moose, before we get into the usual hijinks that we do here, a couple things going down. Just to open the show, we've got invitations from 3 different restaurants and sports bars to come and do the show over the next couple of weeks. I thought I would let you know that. So
that's good.
I'm going to write them down. I'm just, you know how I work. Like the bracelet says, one day at a time. We'll get through today from the Beach House. We're going back to Dodge City Friday, but come next week, we have a litany of restaurants and sports bars that want to host the Rod Pedersen Show. And today, Ian, who, God willing, will get him on the air here, because this dude has got it going on. He's like, hey, you guys are bringing business in here. Canadians like to come to Florida. And I said, well, of course. And he goes, wow, listen, I'm telling everybody you guys are doing a podcast. I'm like, dude, it's on national television on Game Plus TV across Canada. He's like, no, podcast way cooler than that. So he's got his YouTube up and he's watching the show. So they're very tech savvy down here in South Florida, or Florida overall. Would that surprise you, Moose?
Not at all. Not at all. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
They're dialed in.
Well, yeah, we have a live studio audience up here. I like it. Ian and Nina, the staff, because I don't think they're. Are you guys open yet? Are you open? Just? Yeah. You can talk. It's okay.
Yeah, we're open.
It's like it's a theater here. Yeah, we're open. So,
Yeah, I heard.
they'll get to the customers later on.
Oh, don't
There's a
worry.
show going on down here.
If they
Who
make
cares
some
about them?
noise,
Yeah.
if they make some noise, we'll hear it. So it's good.
Okay. Oh, if they make some noise, you'll hear it. Okay, well, maybe a little later on. But hey,
Okay.
I guess we should get serious. Coming up on the program today, Gareth Rees joining us from the World Rugby Sevens. As you know, hour one of the Rod Pedersen Show is brought to you by the World Rugby Sevens and Explore Edmonton, coming up this weekend in Edmonton, the City of Champions. We've gone to the Birds, guys. We've officially gone to the Birds. And coming up in hour two, Scott Flory, the Canadian Football Hall of Famer, head coach of the University of Saskatchewan Huskies football program. He's coming up in hour two. And great work by Clark. We had A.J. Gallant lined up from the Danbury Trashers, and they are 0.6 in my quick six show topics here. The Danbury Trashers, what the hockey documentary that's taking Netflix by storm. But the former owner of the team had to reschedule today. So Scott Flory was good enough to slide himself in for hour two to fill in for A.J. Gallant. But as you said, Moose, that'll give all our viewers time, if you haven't watched the documentary yet on Netflix, to watch it ahead of, I think, Monday. We're going to get A.J. Gallant on. So anyways, Gareth Rees and Scott Flory today. And now, please, can we hit the quick six show topic? Thank you. And I know that we are back on Game Plus television today, so people because we've been preempted all week because of Blast Premier, the gaming tournament. They're like, what is going on? What's coming out of my television right now? Rod is in South Florida, down here on an NFL and NHL tour, or as Mo and Slapshot would say, a Southern tour. And went to the Dolphins on Sunday, the Dolphins and the Bills. This Sunday, I'm going to the Panthers and the Nashville Predators in a doubleheader. Get to check out the North Palm Beach High School team. Their game Friday night as coached by Duron Carter. Dupes, I just got a lot of sports things going on down here. So anyways, number one, Rays 7, Blue Jays won last night at the Trop in the Dome in Tampa. Austin Meadows hit a 3-run homer in a 6-run third inning, and the Rays clinched a postseason berth with a 7-1 victory over the Blue Jays. The Rays' Kevin Kiermaier was hit by a pitch, apparent retribution for scooping up a Toronto scouting report 2 days earlier. We all saw the highlights of it if you weren't watching it live. Reliever Ryan Baraki, no relation to our technical producer Ryan Baracco, hit Kiermaier on the back with his first pitch of the 8th inning last night when the Rays led 7-1. Baraki was ejected. Blue Jays manager Charlie Montoyo and enraged pitching coach Pete Walker stormed out of the dugout as play spilled onto the field. Walker also was tossed from the game. The Rays won the series, Moose. They clinched, as I said. It was not good for the Blue Jays in terms of the wild card because both the Red Sox and Yankees won last night. So it was not a good night for the Blue Jays, but you think overall it was a great night for baseball. So please explain.
It was an amazing night for baseball. I think, Kiermaier getting plunked and being upset about it, the Jays being upset about the scorecard. That whole incident is amazing. And him saying after the game he hopes he plays the Jays, because they shouldn't have plunked him for that. They should get over it. I think bad blood in baseball is great. I think you get a little rivalry going. I think it's good for entertainment. It's great for baseball. It gets you tuned into these games. And Tampa wouldn't traditionally be a hot ball market for, the Jays. Not a big rival, right? If it was the Yankees, the Red Sox, I get it. It's similar to what we saw with Odor and the Texas Rangers when Jose Bautista and Ruin and Odor had their little mix-up, right? That kind of stuff brings people out of the ballpark. That gets people out of their seats. I think it's awesome. So I hope the Jays meet the Rays in the playoffs. I hope they talk in the press, because then we'll talk about it on the show every morning while we have coffee, and then we'll be watching the game at night. So it's great for the ball game.
Well, I don't know if it was Kiermaier who said it after the game last night, but we want to see these guys in the playoffs. And I think I can speak for every baseball fan and Canadian in saying, so do we. Anyways, moving on, I'm moving my topics around because I had the Jack Eichel news this morning, and I'll tease you with, you already know this, but Jack Eichel's been stripped of his C in Buffalo. He's been placed on long-term injured reserve, and the grease fire that is the Buffalo Sabres continues. But that's not my number 2 point. I'm making the CFL my number 2 point because, oh my gosh, Darren, my phone's just blowing up with football people down here that are loving the CFL coverage because nobody else is giving it in the daytime in Canada nor the United States, because here at the Beach House Pompano, they're saying this is Florida's daytime sports talk show. Just saying that, Moose. I don't think you'll have a problem with with that moniker. Anyways, Hamilton's third-string quarterback, David Watford, picked up his second straight win on a rain-filled night as the Tiger Cats defeated the Ottawa Redblacks 24-7 at TD Place on Wednesday. The win allowed the Ticats to take sole possession of first in the East. Redblacks dropped their fifth in a row. They're now 1-5. The result marked the 11th straight home loss for the Redblacks dating back to July of 2019. Watford, our good friend, finished the night 15-25 for 115 yards and a touchdown. Listen, maybe he didn't win it, but as we said yesterday, he didn't lose it. And that's all we can ask. It was a rough night on the other side for Ottawa's Dominic Davis. He started at quarterback. He finished the night 6 for 14 for 50 yards, 1 pick. Then he was replaced. Well, he was hurt, and then Matt Nichols came in early in the third. Nichols was 7 for 10 for 68 yards. Then he left the game with 7 minutes to go as he appeared to injure his left wrist. Nate Bahar finished the game at quarterback for Ottawa. And if you don't know who Nate Bahar is, he's another friend of the show. He's been on here. He's a Canadian receiver. So I asked you to go, Darren, and do a little homework this morning and check out Arash Madani's Twitter feed and then Bob Irving's. Arash tweeted last night, not a banner night for the CFL, or something along those lines. And Bob Irving, the Hall of Fame voice of the Blue Bombers, said, a sad night for the CFL, if I have that right. And I didn't watch the end of the game. It was an abomination. It wasn't good. But I'll just say this. If they get down to the third-string quarterback who happens to be a receiver, that could happen in the National Football League because I believe that they only dress 2 in the NFL. It could happen. Last year, the Denver Broncos started a DB at quarterback, as you know, because of COVID protocol to their 4 quarterbacks. Was it as bad a night for the CFL as Canadians and CFL observers are saying?
It wasn't great, and that's not even because they had to put a receiver in a quarterback. You just mentioned the Denver Broncos. It's not unprecedented. It's not just only a CFL thing. This happens in the National Football League, not often, but it can happen. We see it happen in baseball when a shortstop's got to come and pitch because they've ran through all their pitchers, or an outfielder. That's not crazy. That's not that crazy. But 225 passing yards in the football game. Wait. Total combined between 4 quarterbacks. Combined for 225 passing yards. Let that sink in for a second. 4 quarterbacks combined for 225 passing yards. That's what's disappointing because we want offense. We want to get out of our seat. We want the big plays. And there are big play guys on these teams and in the Canadian Football League. That's what makes it so fun. It's electric, right? There was not a lot electric about that game last night, and that's disappointing.
Well, look, man. And I'm making a note of that. Sad night, point 2. When's the last time we had a CFL game? And call me crazy because I haven't watched all of them, but that has shot the lights out and just been a slobber knocker. Because we've seen it in the National Football League. Obviously, the opening night game, 31-29, Buccaneers over the Cowboys. Look at the overtime games. You had one with your Titans last week, and they won in Seattle, right? Look at the excitement there. Monday Night Football, the Raiders and the Ravens last week. Why is this happening in the Canadian Football League? Why is it? I don't have a problem that a receiver's got to come in and play third-string quarterback, and clearly you don't either. You've said it. It happens in other leagues. It happens in other sports that you got to bring in a utility guy. I get that. But what is with the bad CFL games? Because there are issues in the CFL, and listen, you're on this show with me every day. I'm going out of my way, Moose, to steer clear of the issues of what I know there are for the CFL. Obviously, financial issues, COVID issues, all the rest. They're not helping themselves by games like that. So I guess my question to you is, what's the deal with low scoring, no big plays in the CFL?
And that's never, that I can remember, it's never really been the CFL's issue. No matter what the league's, shape is financially, no matter what the business model is, no matter how many fans are in the stands, the CFL's always been, for me and a lot of football fans, the most entertaining brand of football, right? Big plays, lots of drama, talk about the final 3 minutes and all that can happen. No lead is safe, big plays, the kick returns, all of that. And it's just, it's been a tough season, and that's, you could probably chalk some of this up to the layoff. You really probably could. There's been some movement. They haven't been on the field a lot. You can chalk it up to that a little bit. But now we're 7 games in, right? We're midway point of the season. It's time to start seeing some of these things, unfold a little bit and start to see this game, because it's not the game that we remember it. At least it wasn't last night.
So I've got my comments on. Thank you, Jordan, and you and all the crew for fixing me up with that feed. So William May and Lloyd Minster says lots of key injuries and a whole year off from not playing. So there's that. Boy, they're coming in like crazy now. That's asking good. For it. Yes, what we want. John Wyatt, watching on Facebook, says inexperienced quarterbacks and heavy rain didn't help the stats. From Northside YEG, that's in Edmonton. He says, I didn't watch much of the game, but when I had it on, it was pouring rain. From the General in Calgary, he says, don't be a CFL homer, Rod. LOL. How about that? 1 minute they're calling me a homer, the next day they're calling me a hater. Welcome to my life. From CD, the Ticats fan, he's got the Ticats logo as his avatar. He says, don't care. You don't care because you won. That's a good point.
Right.
You'll take ugly losses over pretty wins anytime.
Devontae Dedmon did have the kick, the touchdown, right? The big return, 63 yards, I think it was. And it was raining. I do like when the weather plays a factor. I like the rain and stuff like that. But, yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Like I say, just trying to figure out my computer here. From Randolph in Ontario, high school teams pass for more than 225 yards combined. Maybe it has something to do with the rain. I don't know. John Kirby in Edmonton says, next CFL season, will we see more Tuesday and Wednesday games like this season? Was there an explanation last night on the broadcast as to why they were playing a Wednesday game in Ottawa, by the way? Because if there was, I missed it. I can't imagine that TD Place was booked for too many other events on the weekend, Moose. But why? How are we with Wednesday games in the CFL? I think we said you want to stay away from Thursdays and Sundays if you can in the Canadian Football League, particularly in the fall. I don't have a problem with midweek games, but that's just me.
This is staying away from those days. I grew up with Friday night football, the doubleheader on Friday nights. That's what I love. But I have no problem with it. I mean, you're gonna go to the games if you're a fan of the team. I really believe that you'll go to the games no matter what the day is. Again, if you don't want to, you'll say it was because of a Wednesday night game. In reality, it's you just didn't want to go. But I had no problem with the game last night, and it was nice to have a midweek game to watch in the CFL.
Chris Bird in King City, Ontario says Madani's post was much less scathing than Irving's. They were both, it appeared, crapping on the CFL. And you kind of expect it from a Rash. You don't expect it from Knuckles. So I saw it. You saw it. I don't necessarily know what they meant. But anyways, life goes on. We only got a minute or two left here, Darren. And as you know, I got a million screens going on here, so bear with me. This is the warm-up, proudly brought to you by our friends at Eichel Electric. And when we come back, we'll talk about the Jack Eichel situation and the NHL training camps that are open. But at Eichel Electric, our annual fall promotion sale is on now with special pricing on hundreds of in-stock items. Eichel Electric, let's get to work. Darren and I will return after this break and go through points 3 through 6, and they are the NHL and Jack Eichel. For the NFL tonight, Carolina-Houston. We'll talk about the line. Tom Brady goes into New England next week. They're already talking about that game. And point 6, more on the Danbury Trashers. So hang around. We'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus Television, nationwide in Canada, 31 states in the U.S., YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
HSBC Canada Sevens is coming to Edmonton for a legendary weekend on and off the field. Commonwealth Stadium, September 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at canadasevens.com.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And if you forgot, the RP Show moves fast. So get your comments in as we roll. The Prairie Mobile text line is open, 306-840-8777. We are broadcasting live from the Beach House Pompano in gorgeous Pompano Beach, Florida. And we'll probably come back on the CFL stuff. But first, I promised hockey. We are a hockey nation after all. NHL training camps are open. Most Buffalo Sabres center Jack Eichel failed his pre-training camp physical and was placed on injured reserve this morning, leaving the two sides no closer to a resolution over how to treat a herniated disc, which has sidelined the player for 6 months. General Manager Kevin Adams said the player has also been stripped of his captaincy. As the Sabres open camp today, the developments leave Eichel being out for the foreseeable future, with the growing likelihood the face of the franchise has already played his final game with the team, which selected him number 2 overall back in 2015. And what has become an ever-widening rift, the Sabres have so far failed in their attempts to trade the 5-time 20-goal scorer this offseason. And Eichel, who first publicly questioned his future in Buffalo in May, changed agents last month in hopes to spur a trade. Now, what's today, Thursday? Come Friday, I'm supposed to be hanging out with some of the Panthers people, and guaranteed not, if it's not Friday, then Sunday I will for sure, because they're playing in Nashville here and I'm going to be at the game. I'll see what they have to say about this, Darren. But what it smacks to me of is the Sabres quite clearly have no idea what they're doing, and we're going to have to get Matthew Barnaby on because Barney has, strong thoughts on this, Darren. But I screenshotted this. Where's my phone? I do love being on location, but sometimes it is a bit of a frazzle. This is from The Athletic, Darren. Jack Eichel no longer the captain of the Sabres. General manager Kevin Adams said, I feel the captain is the heartbeat of our team. I feel the captain is the heartbeat of your team. I felt that we needed to address that. This all has to do with his neck. And he failed the physical, so Kevin Adams is saying if we have a captain, we want him on the ice. I don't think you strip a guy of the C just because he's hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I can see both sides of this. So Kevin Adams also came out and said he's like, we're not, they're not going to be pressured, right? And they're not going to, I want to pull up the quote here. He's like, we're not going to cave or back down due to pressure. And this is from the Eichel camp for a trade. And if he's disgruntled, well, now teams know that, and they think they can get Jack Eichel on a bargain, right? Because he's not a fit in Buffalo. He doesn't want to play there anyway. So you better get something than lose him for nothing. I get that. I also understand when he says the heartbeat of the team, you can't have a disgruntled player who doesn't want to be there wearing your C, representing your franchise. A guy who has no intention of being there, who's publicly said, we're leaving.
Then trade him.
And that's the point, right? But, Adams is sitting there probably waiting, trying to get the best deal possible, and it hasn't come yet. How much time does he have? That's up to him. How long is he willing to wait? That's kind of up to him and the organization. But it is a mess. It's a real mess. And I can see it from both sides. He's got to do what's best for the organization. He can't let a player railroad him into making a bad move. That's a big, big, valuable trading piece for the Buffalo Sabres. If they want to get back on track and have a rebuild, Jack Eichel can be the ticket to do that because he can bring back a really nice return. But if you let this sit here and just burn the whole organization to the ground before you do it, what's going to be left when you finally make the trade?
Again, moments of truth and clarity that you won't get on any other sports talk show. Can you give me any evidence that Kevin Adams, the general manager of the Sabres, has any clue what he's doing? And fans will say, oh, it's the National Hockey League. He's got to know what he's doing. He's got to be great, right? He's the GM of an NHL team. No. Give me some evidence that he knows what he's doing. When he said we won't be painted into a corner or whatever he said, we won't be pressured. What was the quote?
Yeah, we won't cave due to the public pressure or due to the pressure.
Yeah, you got a player that doesn't want to play there. You have to trade Jack Eichel. We've been expecting it all summer and now all fall. It hasn't happened yet. And now the kid shows up and fails his physical and they stripped him of the C. Listen, I'm sorry. I love you, Moose. I can't go along with that. Because what does that say about your faith? Did the Chicago Blackhawks strip Jonathan Toews of his C last year when he missed the entire season? Did he? And if they did, I apologize.
Right, but that's different a little bit because Jonathan Toews still wants to be a Blackhawk, right? He wasn't in the media saying he wanted to leave. But here's the flip side of this for me too, though.
We are arguing two different things.
I know. The flip side for Kevin Adams, because I don't think that the stripping of the C is due to him having the failed physical. I really don't. This is about him not wanting to be there, and that's why you take the C away. But when you're dealing with a player like this in the public eye and you're being hard and you're saying, look, we're not sending you for surgery. We're not giving you the C. We're not just trading you right away because you want to, right? You're doing all of these things against the player. We're not going to let him pressure us. And it's kind of telling the rest of the league that this might not be a real player-friendly market. This might not be a real player-friendly team. And how far is that going to go when you're trying to recruit free agents, right? When you're trying to get rookies signed that you've drafted up near the top of the National Hockey League entry draft. So he could have went about this a completely different way and said, hey, look at Jack, I know you're not happy here. I know things aren't working out. Let me see what I can do to make life better for you, and I'll find you a trade. And players would see that and think, man, that's a team I might want to play for because they're going to look out for us, even if that means not being in the organization. But he's not doing that.
Owen Power, number one overall picks, not in camp because he elected to stay in Michigan. This is not a franchise anybody wants to play for.
Owen Power sitting back watching.
Up the trade. Botched the trade with Jack Eichel. And I'm sorry, I'll say it again. People think because it's the NHL, you must automatically know what you're doing. And Kevin Adams clearly doesn't know what he's doing. Moving on. Point 4 of the Quick Six show topics here in hour 1, which is brought to you by Explore Edmonton and the World Rugby Sevens. NFL tonight, Carolina-Houston. And it's something early on, Darren. I think it's because it's only week 3. I would have normally called this a friends and family game. Only friends and family care. But I was on the radio in North Carolina this morning, and they used to call me to talk CFL and NHL. Now they call to talk NFL, just so you know. And the Panthers are favored by 8 on the road in Houston, and the over-under is 43. I think the pumpkin shows up. The Uber pumpkin shows up at midnight tonight for the Carolina Panthers and Sam Darnold and the Houston Texans. At the very least, if they don't win, they beat the spread of 8. And I'm taking the under of 43. And be quick on this because I'm going to move on to the Tom Brady thing. But your take on Thursday Night Football.
David Mills is starting a quarterback for the Houston Texans. Now, he was a highly rated high school football. He was a highly rated high school football recruit ahead of Tua Tagovailoa. They liked him at Stanford a lot with his delivery and his arm. But you said who? Yeah, who? Tyrod Taylor was actually moving the football and doing some really nice things for Houston, and we thought this isn't the basement-dwelling Houston Texans we thought they were going to be. They look pretty good, but Sam Darnold's he's kind of reborn in Carolina. I like the chemistry he's brought over from New York with Robbie Anderson, and you got Christian McCaffrey. So how can you not take the Panthers in this one? And I'll take them to cover that spread too.
Ryan McCarthy in Saratoga, New York says, I wonder what the holdup on a trade is for Eichel. Are teams worried they're going to have to wait for Eichel to heal, or are the Sabres asking for too much? They're asking for too much. Somebody wrote in here, William in Lloyd says, you can't trade him until he's healthy. Injured players have gotten traded for years and years and years. You know what you're getting with Jack Eichel. You know, and guys have come back from injuries like that too in the past and been fine. So they can move him. Kevin Adams just doesn't know how. So point 5. We have not put up a poll question yet because I had a couple of pretty good suggestions. But the Jug, you know the Jug?
Oh, yeah.
Darren?
Yeah.
He texted me this morning. He goes, poll question idea. Tom Edward Brady's going into Boston next week, into New England in week 4 with the Patriots. And the question is, should he be honored with some sort of ceremony, some video tribute? And you would think automatically, yes, he should. But there's been at least one Patriots player that's come out and said that they don't think that they should honor Tom Brady there. Now, we were talking about it here in the Pompano Beach House with the staff before. Well, look, you don't leave that up to the players. Of course, the players are going to say don't honor Tom Brady. Who wants the visitor honored? Maybe these guys didn't even play with Tom Edward Brady.
Right.
But does it really mean anything? I mean, Darian Durant got his video tribute when he came back to Saskatchewan with Montreal, but ask Darian how he feels about Saskatchewan still to this day. I don't think it meant a whole lot to him. Now, I shouldn't speak for Darian, but I just did. Yeah, you got to have a video. You got to have something for TB12, don't you?
Oh, yeah. You have to. I think so. I mean, what he did for that organization is unlike what anybody's done for any organization. And, you know, what he did in that town, I think you do. I think you will. I think you'll have a moment. I think you'll recognize it. I think once he's done, there'll be a statue outside the stadium, if there's not one there already. Yeah, for sure. I think they will. I really do. But then that's going to be a heck of a football game, too. And it's too bad we got to wait a whole nother week to get there. But, yeah,
no.
I think it's an automatic yes. Slam dunk.
Well, the bracelet says 1 day at a time. You could move it to 1 week at a time. We shouldn't even be talking about that. But I couldn't think of any other poll questions. So maybe we will throw that up there. But I think it would be 70 to 80% yes. Tom Brady should be honored with some sort of ceremony next week in New England. By the way, quite often I say that our viewers know a lot of what they're talking about. Today they're proving they don't know a GD thing, as my mom would say. William in Lloydminster says, Rod, nothing wrong with taking the C away. Really, William? That shows you what you know, and that's nothing. Having the C stripped off is something that will dog Jack Eichel for the rest of his career. It'll always be, remember, he had his C stripped in Buffalo. It's one of the most embarrassing things that can happen to a player, which is another reason why I'm upset at the Buffalo Sabres and Kevin Adams. Nothing wrong. William, you obviously have never been in a dressing room. Why don't you stop talking for the day? And Ryan Friesen in Winnipeg, who I threatened to block the other day, says Rod Pedersen called Andrew Harris a cheater when it came out. No, I didn't. I absolutely never said anything of the sort with Andrew Harris. I was the one that said he should serve his suspension and let's all move on. So if you guys are going to try stir stuff up, take your act somewhere else because I don't need it today. Gareth Rees coming up in hour 1 from World Rugby Sevens, and also Scott Flory from the Huskies football program. He's in hour 2. My 6th point in the Quick Six show topics, Darren, is I don't know the exact name of the documentary. I guess I could find it here on my phone. But if we just say Danbury Trashers, that should be all that we need to know, right?
That's it.
Where the heck is it? The Netflix series? Well, it isn't Untold Crime and Stories
Untold
or something?
Crime, yeah. Crime and Penalties, yes.
Untold Crime and Penalties, Clark says?
Untold is the series.
I got it.
Yeah, Crime and Penalties.
Okay. Everybody's talking about it. Danbury Trashers. And I know I was a little late to the party, but I'm ahead of the pack. Most people still don't know what it is.
Right.
So if you just go into your Netflix search tonight or today, if you have the time and the means, write in Danbury Trashers, and the 90-minute documentary will come up about a United Hockey League pro team from 17 years ago. I think they only lasted 2 years, owned by Jimmy Galante and his son, AJ. And listen, man, first 10, 15 minutes, I'm like, is this even freaking real? Like, I remember the United Hockey League. I had players that played in the United Hockey, or friends that played in the United Hockey, but I don't remember the Danbury Trashers. I would have never believed that ESPN would have shown up to their news conference to announce the expansion team, but Darren Ravel was the reporter, like he's a big deal. So ESPN did go to Danbury, Connecticut when they announced this team, and then I'm watching the highlights of the game, and for God's sakes, it took me an hour to just decide if this was real hockey or not. Like, is this good or not?
I know.
Because the two guys that they interviewed sitting in their lawn chairs in the corridor looked like these guys didn't have enough brain cells to tie their shoelaces, yet they played pro hockey 17 years ago. And then I realized, well, yeah, maybe 17 years ago these guys were in shape. But I tweeted it the other night when I watched the first hour. I'm like, the Danbury Trashers are a grease fire that I cannot turn away from. And went and finished watching it, and I'm still trying to figure out what I just watched. But you got to watch it. It's like The Sopranos meets Slapshot.
Yes.
And I think maybe throw in Tiger King.
Oh, yeah. You want to drop that?
Clark just saying that Tiger King's getting season 2. So what, they set up a camera in jail for Joe Exotic? Anyways.
Exactly.
So, Darren, what are you on Danbury Track? What are you giving it out of 5?
Yeah, wow. It's a 4 out of 5 for me. Part of it is I couldn't concentrate because I was the same thing. I'm like, what is happening? Right? They said he's the real-life Tony Soprano, that they modeled the show after The Sopranos, after this family, which is wild. But I like how, they said that they were just so scared when he'd walk into the dressing room, right? He'd walk into the locker room and they're like, they'd pucker up like this because they're just like on pins and needles. And then when he was on the bench and they're like, yeah, the phone calls for you. They're about to do the anthem and the guy's got the cell phone on the bench and then he's sitting on the blue line like this because he's got to go fight. It's like, you're going to go fight as soon as the puck drops, and he's just staring. The anthem's going on, everybody's cheering, and he's just staring. I'm like, oh boy, I don't really remember.
The rink is packed. The people are going crazy.
The rink is packed, but yet it's pro hockey, and the rink looks like the Lanigan Event Center. 4 or 5 rows of seats only on one side. I couldn't take my eyes off it. It was wildly entertaining.
Right.
Wild.
It's a grease fire.
Grease fire.
Moose, I'm not done with the Danbury Trashers. We'll talk to you in a bit, okay? When we come back, Gareth Rees from the World Rugby Sevens. We're broadcasting live from the Beach House in Pompano Beach, Florida. It is Canada's daytime sports talk show on Game Plus Television, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. It's time to get back to busy, and Capital Ford Lincoln is here to help. Check out our selection of new and used online or in-store. Don't see what you like? We have inventory arriving daily. Reserve yours now or work with our team of product specialists to customize and order the perfect new vehicle for you. Wait! Hold the phone! We still have brand new F-150s in stock and ready to go. Okay, back to the regular commercial. Plus, we're always paying top dollar for used vehicles, even if you don't buy from us. It's time to get back to busy with Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world! Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rob.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Canada's daytime sports talk show live on Game Plus TV from the Pompano Beach House. I just opened up the Prairie Mobile text line and kaboom! Can somebody research what area code 480 is? Do you guys mind? Can you do 480? From the 480, the only reason Darren Ravel went to Danbury was that ESPN headquarters is located down the road in Bristol. It's a short drive. Talking about the Danbury Trashers. Listen. Clark's telling me it's Scottsdale, Arizona. Who cares? He was there. Don't be a member of the yeah, but crowd. Yeah, but. No, ESPN was there. Makes it legit. Just like the World Rugby Sevens, which, by the way, is only 2 days away. This weekend in Edmonton, the World Rugby Sevens Series features teams from across the globe with action-packed Rugby Sevens matchups. Purchase your tickets today at CanadaSevens.com. Gareth Rees joins us from Edmonton, getting ready for this event, the likes of which never before been seen. How you doing, Gareth? How are plans for the weekend, by the way?
Well, pretty good, and thanks for having me. I got one beef for you, man. We brought the whole world of Rugby Sevens here to your great sports city, and you're sitting on a beach in Florida? What's that about?
How about that?
I'm sorry. I didn't really plan that too well. I didn't. But listen, I can tell by the smile on your face that you're ready to rock and roll come this weekend. I mean, it's we've been talking about it for months. It's finally here, basically. So how you feeling?
We're super excited. Basically, the top 12 men's teams in the world and 4 women's teams going to take over Commonwealth Stadium for Saturday, Sunday. I don't know how many of your fans have seen a World Sevens series stop. It's like a tournament format, short 14-minute games, tons of scoring, tons of big hits, tons of action. And it's like 2 days, all day of whatever you want to do. If you want to have a few drinks, if you want to put a costume on, it's all there. And pretty excited to be in Edmonton this weekend.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got a lot of questions about the game and the sport and the event itself, but my good friend Cameron Hughes, you must know Cameron, the professional fan, Cameron Shears, has worked events all around the world. And he says that the World Rugby Sevens is the greatest spectacle in sport. Why is that? What are people going to see this weekend in Edmonton?
Well, he's not wrong. It's so much more than just what goes on in the field. There's all the fans get into it. We've been in Vancouver for the last 5 years. We put 70,000 people in there over 2 days in BC Place. Just an awesome experience for kids, for families. If you want to have a few beers with your buddies, it's an all-day experience. It's something unlike going to an Elks game or going to a hockey game. It's just extended over the day, and it's all about the characters around the rugby game. Whether it's national costumes, you got Kenyans, you got South Africans, you got all sorts of different people, as well as the Canadians. And you're also having a good time. And the action's always changing on the field. So you can cheer for Canada, you can cheer for another team. This event, you can cheer for our women's team, who are awesome. So, so much to do. And it's not your average, it's more like a festival entertainment product than just some sports game, part of a league.
So on Monday, I was reading results of what had just happened with World Rugby Sevens in Vancouver. So there's an opening leg. Can you explain all that to me?
Yeah, sure. I mean, for fans that don't know rugby too well, Rugby Sevens is kind of like the beach volleyball to volleyball. There's a full 15-a-side rugby, and then Rugby Sevens is the abbreviated version, and that's the version that's in the Olympics for us. So we just went down there. Men made top 8, women were 9th. Both teams qualified, so pretty exciting. Not the results maybe we wanted, but it's awesome to be in the Olympics. We've had a changeover, and we went in Vancouver last weekend. Lots of young Canadian kids, as I said, and the women as well. South Africa won the thing, but our guys played great, and some guys put their hand up, and I think they could actually challenge for the title here, which would be amazing on Canadian soil to lift the HSBC World Series Cup. I mean, it's pretty rarefied territory.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what is up for grabs with that. So that is the thing. They will be handing out a championship, a trophy here come Sunday night?
Yeah, well, a lot of the rest of the world is shut down, so there's an abbreviated tour. Normally it's a 10-stop tour with cities like Dubai, Hong Kong, London, Paris, Auckland. It's all there. But we've got abbreviated season this year. So this will be the second of 2 events this year, and then they're off to Dubai just before Christmas. So there will be a champion declared at the tournament, and it'll be play-down format. Sunday afternoon, you'll have a winner here. And, South Africa did it last time, and we'll see if our men, the Canadian men, can challenge for that cup.
Obviously, I've broadcast many an event out of Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. Tell me how that is the perfect venue for this event this weekend.
Well, it's fantastic. Obviously, one of the things that we're all considering, without getting too serious, is the COVID situation. So there's lots of space in that stadium. We've set it up so there will be space for fans and social distancing. All the players have been in a bubble. But as I said, it's been quite a logistical thing to get all these teams here to Edmonton, 12 teams from around the world. But they're ready to compete. They're fed up with being in a hotel, just like all the hockey players, the curlers that were here in Alberta. They want to play, so they're going to put on a show. And we've taken a few extra precautions, just an abundance of caution, really, to make sure that everyone around you is double vaccinated and we're all good to go. And there's lots of space to move into. So it's going to be fun. It's not going to be quite the same as pre-COVID, like most things, but we're going to have fans in the stands. It'll be a good time.
Well, and a party, yes. And you know what? You've brought it up a couple of times, so let's talk about that before we just talk about the sport of rugby for a second. You're going to have proof of vaccination or a negative on-site test. You're going to need to wear masks in the crowd. So can you talk about, for those, and by the way, for those that haven't bought single-day ticket passes yet, they are on sale for as low as $60 for a full-day pass. So what can they expect when they come in there on Saturday?
Yeah, there's some tickets still available. CanadaSevens.com is where you go for those. We're going to take all the regular precautions. We're basically a week ahead of the Elks with these new rules that have gone in place. We're working with the Elks in that stadium, and you will need to take all the precautions and just play by the rules. That's all, really. So we understand some people aren't into that, and that's just the way of the world. But we want to have an event. We want to have a safe event for everybody, but we're going to have some fun as well. You may be 6 feet apart, more so than you were before, but we're going to have a good time.
Gareth, what is your rugby history in the sport?
Well, I grew up on the West Coast and was pretty lucky. I played for our national team, but played pro over in Europe for about 10 years. Played in sevens down in the Hong Kong Sevens. Some of your listeners may have heard of that. It's just an incredible event. I was pretty lucky to travel the world and got paid to play the game. And now I work for the next generation of kids. We got some great athletes, men and women in this country. And Alberta's always provided us great athletes, and they got good programs here. So there's a few of the other old boys who are playing Friday night out at Ellerslie. There's a big classics event out there. They got 3 games going on, and all the ex-internationals are coming together to play. And then Saturday, Sunday will be all the current internationals going at it and giving us a show.
Well, I want to end it with this. I could imagine that the rugby world is somewhat small, so you must know a gentleman by the name of Carl Fix, and he brought me out to the Prairie Fire in Regina for my first live game, and I was like, what the hell? Somebody's hurt on the side of the pitch, and they're working on him, and the play's still going on. I mean, getting injured isn't anything new in sport, but to keep playing around the guy, and of course, no equipment. I'm like, this is the toughest sport on the planet. Am I right?
Well, you just mentioned, what was it, Sopranos meets Slapshot? Well, this is maybe, I don't know, the Elks meet Slapshot. We don't have any pads on. We go at it, but there is safety underneath all that. There's just big, clean hits. Carl Fix knows how to put on an event, and he's passionate about our sport. There'll be tons of people who are passionate about rugby, and hopefully lots of new fans. Some of your families come and check out international sport. We're back on field. If you've missed live sport, you can cheer on Canada and other national teams. So it'll be a fun one. There'll be some hits, but everyone will be okay.
I love it. Gareth, this has been great, man. Good luck with it. I'm sorry that I can't be there, but it looks like you're going to have it every year, so I'll be at the next one. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate talking to us.
You bet. Gareth Rees joining us from the World Rugby Sevens in Edmonton. It's going on this weekend, and they are a partner of this show, along with Explore Edmonton. Moose joins me next. We're going to talk about Manscaped today and a lot of other fun things. We're broadcasting live from the Beach House in Pompano Beach, Florida, on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
HSBC Canada Sevens is coming to Edmonton for a legendary weekend on and off the field. Commonwealth Stadium, September 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at canadasevens.com.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Number 16. A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back to the RP Show, everybody. Today's episode is sponsored by our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. It's back to school time, and we want to make sure you pack the essentials to have the best year yet. The Manscaped 4th Generation Performance Package is just that. Things are opening up. Be ready for whatever is in the daily schedule for you. It's the perfect package for your package and includes the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Fellas, go for the valedictorian of ball trimming and join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com with a promo code RP20. You get 20% off plus free shipping. Was that you laughing, Moose? Somebody broke out laughing there.
Yes.
What? You hear it every week. It's not new.
Not like that, I don't. That was new. That was new.
We love our Manscaped.
Yes, we
and
do.
I love the folks. I love the folks that support Manscaped because they sponsor both our YouTube channel and national television. How's your last 10 to 15 minutes been, Moose?
It's been great. I've been on the phone, so but it's been good.
Have you?
Yeah.
This Mike Rolene from Edmonton, he's asked the same question as yesterday. I'm going to have to reread it. Mike says, good morning, Rod, from beautiful Miami, and Moose from the bunker. I was wondering if you guys have been asked, who do you think will first player of Saskatchewan's team, the Seattle Kraken, will be to score the first franchise goal? We answered this yesterday. Mike Rolene from Edmonton, but I said Eberle.
Yeah.
Who did you say? Moose, do you remember?
I don't remember who I said, but I'll say Jaden Schwartz. I'll say Schwartz.
Right. From Jim in Manitoba. On the Jack Eichel thing. You can't trade an injured superstar unless you take less, and the Sabres don't want to take less. Am I being too hard on the Buffalo Sabres? Because I don't think that I am.
No, I think you're being fair. He's still a long-term, asset for anybody at a high end, so you're not taking less for Jack Eichel.
Regarding yesterday's discussion about Jeff Garcia in the Hall of Fame, why isn't he in the Canadian Football Hall of Fame? And I answered it by saying he's got 1 Grey Cup ring, not 2. From the 248, Doug Flutie should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I believe he changed the game in the NFL. We'll talk about that and more next hour. Okay, Moose? You going to stick around after the break?
You bet.
Okay. It is the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and we'll see you in hour 2 right after this.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina. Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. We'll treat you right. It's time to get back to busy, and Capital GMC is here to help. Check out our selection of new and certified pre-owned, online or in-store. Don't see what you like? We have inventory arriving daily. Reserve yours now or work with one of our product specialists to customize and order the perfect new vehicle for you. Plus, we're always paying top dollar for used vehicles, even if you don't buy from us. And our factory-trained technicians are standing by for service or inspection on any make or model. It's time to get back to busy with Capital GMC in Regina.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersenshop.com.
Absolutely awesome to see you down in Florida, Roddy. Unfortunately, you are at the grind, working. LOL. Enjoy it, man. You deserve it.
How about that?
Listen, please don't feel sorry for me. Darren, do you feel sorry for me that I got to work?
I feel sorry for me.
Exactly.
From the Slurpee capital to the land of the newlywed and the nearly dead, it's sunny Florida with the Rod Pedersen Show.
I prefer the Sunshine State, Rick Regan, but that's okay. We are live for a second straight day at the Pompano Beach House in Pompano Beach, Florida. And it's hour 2 of the RP Show, proudly presented by our friends at Core Grain. And coming up this hour, more of your favorite sports talk. As Moose is with us here in the bunker. Moose, I'm going to send a hearty hello. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are watching on Game Plus television right now, and they are saying it looks amazing. And they want to know how they can get down here. So, as you've said, man.
Yep.
I was a voice in the CFL at the perfect time, and my 20 years were the perfect time. But I can say even more, I got to come down here. This is where I got to know Florida with those Rough Riders mini camps from for me, 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18. I think 5 years. And now they don't do them anymore. So right. I don't know how the Winnipeg Blue Bombers would be able to get down here.
Well, they do the free agent camp, and that's kind of what but that's also what I want to tell young broadcasters and the people who are working their way up this business or any business is they're going to watch this and they're going to say, I want to be Rod Pedersen. I want to be on a beach. I want to be on the Pompano Beach House. I want to be on that deck overlooking that show or at that beach looking and doing a show to thousands of people every day. That's what I want. Well, to get there, you got to go do what you've done, right? Which is 30 years in the business and doing all these trips and riding the bus and getting all the stories and meeting all the people and doing all of those things. And now you get to reap the rewards of your years and years and decades of hard work. So enjoy it.
As you say, not many would want to walk through the fire like I have to be able to get here. That was your line on that. But anyways, yes, a shout out to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers who are not playing this week. They're enjoying a bye week. Cooling their heels. What are they now? 6-1. The CFL standings are all out of order.
Yeah.
Some guys have played 5. Some guys have played 7. Anyways, I see Dayton Greenway is watching on YouTube, and he says, I don't know what he's referring to, but he says, only play for free on Bet Regal website is in the casino. No points for sports bets. I wouldn't know because I know you can lose points on sports bets. I know that because I've been doing it the last 2 weekends. Losing. But dang, is it fun.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm literally watching the Alabama-Florida game right to the very end in the BRU's Wingstop Sports Bar. Like right to the end. Not that it mattered because I had a 15.5-point spread. And it was a 2-point game. But, I mean, man, Darren, it's so much fun.
Well, same thing for me. Like I put 3 bets in on the weekend on the play for free sports book, and I lost the first 2 close on the spread, but I made it all back on the third one, and I ended up being a wash, right? So it was fun. I think I have right close to my 1,000 Bet Regal points, so I'll be letting her ride again this weekend, and tomorrow I'll have my picks.
I can't say that Dayton the Ticats fan is wrong that you don't win points. I've never won on there. I know you can lose points because I lost 150, but you get 1,000 free points a month on BetRegal.net, the official and exclusive betting partner of the Rod Pedersen Show. And the CFL. Dan Saravelli is watching. Dan, the situation, Saravelli is watching in Philadelphia, and he wants to know if Jimmy Buffett is playing on the beach behind me. Can you see, Moose?
How
Can you
about
see?
that?
Is somebody back there at the guitar?
I don't think so.
I would be in a reclining chair.
But I am going to the Keys before this trip is over. And that's where they say he is very popular, Jimmy Buffett, in the Keys. Back on point, if there was one. Where are we? We got so many things to talk about here. And Jack Eichel's really got people going. I guess I ripped some people. In hour 1. And I don't regret it. Where the heck is it? They're saying something along the lines. Oh, here it is from Scott on YouTube. Jack Eichel is sickening. Ban him outright from the NHL. He's not that good of a player. How would we even know? Because he's been on such a terrible team, right? Is he the Sam Darnold of the National Hockey League? You're not banning him. I mean,
I think the consensus around the National Hockey League is that Jack Eichel is an elite talent still in the NHL. I mean, he's a very good player. We haven't seen what his potential is yet. But again, the great players can be good everywhere, right? No matter what situation you put them in. I think Connor McDavid, you look at him, he would be Connor McDavid on any team in the NHL. I really believe that. Will Jack Eichel be an elite player on any team in the National Hockey League? He should be. So I think I think the narrative around the National Hockey League is that Jack Eichel is still a very, very good player, an elite player. But we won't get to see it in Buffalo. We'll see where he goes next.
I appreciate everybody chiming in with the breaking news. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding from Northside YEG. Top line, morning skate in Edmonton. Hyman, McDavid, Puljujarvi. Where's Neon Leon? They're opening up training camp with breaking up McDavid and Neon Leon. I'm not sure I like that. CFL hobo, Jason from Hamilton. Obviously, he was at the game in Ottawa last night. Where the heck is it? The CFL hobo said something along the lines of a great game, but rainy in Ottawa. We covered all of this last hour. David Asplin. Good morning, Rod, from Winnipeg. Beauty looking outside. It is absolutely beautiful here in Pompano Beach, Florida, which, by the way, this is what I meant to say going into hour 2 here, Moose. They say that we have the nicest friends where we're from, and the nicest people live in the rectangle. They're nice, but my gosh, I cannot explain how well I've been treated here in South Florida. I mean, this Ian dude who's serving today, I was saying my back was getting sore. He just rushes and getting a pillow, puts it behind me. I'm like, Ian, did you ever work at a senior's home? He just had this care. He has this way about him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we've got 3 or 4 different sports bars lined up to host the show here. And he's behind 2 of them, places that he used to work. They're like, yeah, you guys, national television in Canada? We'd love to have you come do your show from our sports bar here. By the way, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are, in fact, 6-1. Hot take. Does anybody in the West catch the Winnipeg Blue Bombers for first place? And do the Edmonton Elks and Calgary Stampeders miss the playoffs for the first time in the same year in CFL history? Because, Darren, as I said in my commentary today on Cat Country 98 and Rock 98.5 FM, when you start talking about mathematical chances, that's when the fat lady starts. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. And we are into, like, every game matters now. And we're going to be, you talked about mathematical chances. We're going to be talking about that on a weekly basis, where it's like, look at percentage of making the playoffs is 45%, but you lost. Now it's down to 35% and 20%. And it's just going to get tougher and tougher and tougher. And Edmonton and Calgary, they need to win games, but now they need help too. So this is going to be a West Division playoffs like we've never seen in some time.
So, by the way, I mean, we are solving the world's problems today, live on Game Plus Television. Producer Clark says he knows what the issue is with BetRegal. Gentleman went to betregal.com. Wrong website. Go to betregal.net, and the free sports book is there, and it works. So go check it out before the weekend and gamble for free and not lose any money. It's the best of both worlds. And Bob's your uncle.
Yes.
Bob's your uncle.
John Kirby in Edmonton writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line. He says, more than a dozen infectious disease and critical care doctors are calling on the Calgary Flames and Edmonton Oilers to drop plans to play games in full capacity arenas this season in Alberta amid the 4th wave of COVID-19. John, who let's just call the COVID 411 guy, says the doctors are warning them against filling their arenas. Are we touching that?
Are
we touching that?
I mean, we can. I mean, I think you and I are both in the same boat where it's, we want sports to play. We want fans in the stands. I think we want to do it safely. I don't think the answer is to just stop playing anymore. I think now that we're vaccinated, we're pushing towards that. Everyone's asking for a vaccine passport. I know you can still get COVID even if you're vaccinated, but I think the teams are looking out for what's best for their fans and what's best for their bottom line. I think that's important. I don't think we can be overly critical, but it is something to follow. People are talking about it, but I think I think we're looking at probably having more fans than less fans in the stands.
So tired of talking about it, which everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, on the Prairie Mobile text line, got my double phones going here. From the dock in Edmonton. Writes in, he's watching on Game Plus Television. He says, who's going to win, Tampa Bay or the Rams? Seeing 2 top receivers are out for Tampa Bay. Who's going to win? Well, at betregal.net, they got the Buccaneers favored by 1.5. The game is in Los Angeles, SoFi Stadium. I'm going to think you take the Rams to win straight up. That's what I'm thinking. And one of the best defenses in the National Football League, anchored by Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. It's a long way for Tom Edward Brady to travel with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, minus 2 of his stud receivers, which includes AB, who's on the shelf with COVID and God knows what else. I got to think the Rams are going to win this one. You?
Yeah, and it'll be about, can the Rams control the time of possession, too, and limit the penalties? Those will be the 2 big things I'll be watching. Can they keep Tom Brady off the field, and can they limit the penalties and play disciplined football? We know their defense is good. We know Matthew Stafford's having a great year, a good start to the season anyways, and they've got weapons. So that was the question that kind of came up this morning as I'm watching some of the coverage, and it was, is L.A. the roadblock to Tampa Bay repeating? Is that the biggest roadblock to Tampa Bay repeating? And I think it is. I think LA looks like a team that is a very, very legit Super Bowl contender. I've got Tampa and LA 1-2 right now in my Power 5, my top 5. It's going to be a really good game. It's a coin toss. I'll take Tampa just because Tom loves to get up on these really competitive games, and just to take the other side from you, but I can see LA winning this game. It'll be tight.
Well, that was easy. Were you watching the segment on Get Up this morning about best bets in the NFL this weekend? I mean, I was sitting here going, you and I could fill at least an hour, maybe 2 hours, talking about the best bets in the National Football League this weekend. And there are some deliciously sexy games. Mm-hmm. You know, I think it's interesting. It's interesting that, again, I go on the radio in North Carolina today. They used to call to talk about the CFL and the NHL. Now they're calling to talk about the National Football League. Like, it's just mind-boggling to me what the NFL is doing. And by the way, back to what we were talking about an hour ago, why is the CFL struggling in the mud with these low-scoring games, no big plays, and is it catastrophic for the CFL? Because you and I have been talking on the phone every single day since I've been down here, and I'm like, Darren, my mind's drifting away from the CFL. It's drifting away from the CHL because you're ensconced in a football hotbed. And it's also an NHL market here, an NHL market. I told you last weekend I spent with the Dolphins people. This weekend I'll be spending with the Panthers people. The CFL, I think they're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and the product. The thing about it is the product has always been so good on the field that it's, covered up any of the other things that are going on. Whether it's a lack of marketing, whether it's the NFL pouring millions and millions and millions of dollars into the Canadian market to try and capture this $33 million or 33 million person fan base, this market. It's a big market, right, for the NFL. It's like grabbing New York, right, which is one of the bigger NFL markets. I think the product has been so good in the Canadian Football League that it's overcome a lot of these things. Well, when it's not great, and we're running into that a little bit right now, you'll start to see the effects, and people will stop tuning in. They won't watch as much. They might still follow the scores, but there's still opportunity. If the games get great, we get down to the playoffs, down to the wire, and the games start to really, rise to the top again, we might get back to it. But you're right, if the games aren't entertaining, it doesn't take long for something else to grab your attention.
Why people love this show so much is the interactive nature, might I say the addictive nature of the show. CFL Hobo in Hamilton, Jason says, no one's catching the Winnipeg Blue Bombers unless there's injuries. Calgary and Edmonton might be out. Wow. We're going to make a note of this because I want to talk about it when we come back, Moose, about A.C. Leonard and his 3-game suspension, 2 games for the failing to provide a urine sample and a 3rd for abusing the drug tester guy, because everybody wants to talk about that, and that's cool. I wanted to talk about that earlier this week, and I forgot. But I'll leave you with this in this segment. To close segment 1, we're brought to you by Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. Regarding those doctors in Alberta with what they're saying, Northside YEG, watching in Edmonton on YouTube, says, yeah, TSN has a story on their website they had posted last night about doctors calling for no fans. I'm concerned about it. Listen, doctors tell you not to smoke, and they tell you not to drink too much, and people still do. At what point are we just going to put a warning on the tickets and say you redeem this ticket at the Saddle Dome, you may catch COVID? Like, come on. Surgeon General's warning. Going to the game might result in a positive COVID test. Take your chances. I'm not anti-doctor, but come on. We got to live. We got to play sports and fill these buildings. And if you're scared, stay home. We'll be right back to the Beach House, Pompano Beach, Florida. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
HSBC Canada Sevens is coming to Edmonton for a legendary weekend on and off the field. Commonwealth Stadium, September 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at canadasevens.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
It's time to get back to busy, and Capital GMC is here to help. Check out our selection of new and certified pre-owned, online or in-store. Don't see what you like? We have inventory arriving daily. Reserve yours now, or work with one of our product specialists to customize and order the perfect new vehicle for you. Plus, we're always paying top dollar for used vehicles, even if you don't buy from us. And our factory-trained technicians are standing by for service or inspection on any make or model. It's time to get back to busy with Capital GMC in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm surfing through these comments. There's a ton of them. Sports update before we bring the Moose back in. And we are live, by the way, from the Beach House in Pompano Beach, Florida, with Canada's daytime sports talk show. You're on, Moose. Hamilton's third-string quarterback, David Watford, picked up his second straight win on a rain-filled night as the Ticats defeated the Ottawa Redblacks 24-7 at TD Place Wednesday. The win allowed the 4-3 Ticats to take sole possession of first in the East, while the 1-5 Redblacks dropped their 5th in a row. It was their 11th straight home loss. Tampa Bay Rays were able to clinch their 3rd straight American League playoff berth, but not before sparking a little controversy. Austin Meadows hit a 3-run homer that propelled the Rays to a 7-1 win over the Jays. Meadows' blast occurred long before teammate Kevin Kiermaier was hit by a pitch, which appeared to be retribution for scooping up a Toronto scouting report 2 days earlier. Long story, don't ask. Let's just hope the Jays and Rays meet in the playoffs. And the NBA has fined Golden State Warriors owner Joe Lacob $50,000 U.S. for violating the league's anti-tampering rule. With comments he made about 76ers guard Ben Simmons, Lacob said the Warriors had no interest in the disgruntled Sixers guard. How's that tampering? Simmons reportedly plans to sit out 76ers training camp, but he is expected to re-sign there. That's what I'm getting down here, Moose. That's the word. This sports update for the Tab Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, and for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. More of a sports update coming up a little later on with today's news. But on the A.C Leonard thing, I'm seeing a lot of comments online, a lot of talk at 3 Down about him being suspended the 2 games for failing to give the urine sample and a 3rd for abusing the official. I wanted to read the comment here from the Hockey Club podcast, and I can't find it up there in Tallahassee. Corey in Tallahassee saying, Rod, we got room for you. And Moose, too. Did you see that comment from the Hockey Club podcast?
No, I missed it.
Want to write in again, Patty? Former pro player Corey Pedersen, the Sizzler. Anyways, he says he's got room for us. A.C. Leonard, if it was any lesser of a player, he probably would be suspended or maybe cut by his team. He's the best pass rusher on the Saskatchewan Roughriders, one of the best teams in the CFL. And for that reason, I don't think he'll be cut. Why does Evander Kane still have a job? He led the San Jose Sharks in scoring last year. Certainly not comparing A.C. Leonard to Evander Kane in terms of a person. A.C. Leonard was on the Roughriders when I was on the Roughriders, but I didn't know the guy, never had a conversation with him. Nobody seemed to have a problem with the dude. But I don't think he'll be cut because he's too good of a player. We discussed this already.
For sure.
Your thoughts?
No, and that's the unfortunate part of sports, right? Is sometimes how good you are, how much money you can make for the team, how many goals you can score, can cover up a lot of issues, right? If you're a bad person, scoring goals can sometimes cover that up. And we'll sign you despite this. And we'll try and get you help, and we'll try and rehabilitate you and make you a better person, sure. So we see that a lot. But also, like, again, I don't know A.C. Leonard either. But I can understand people a little bit. And look, if you made a mistake and maybe he was going to test positive and he knew he was going to test positive, well, you get real defensive in that moment, right? You get real defensive when you've been caught. Doesn't mean that you're a bad person. You may make mistakes, but you get defensive. And then you start treating the person that's accusing you, and he's just the guy showing up to get the sample, but by coming and asking for the sample, right, you get a little bit defensive and it comes across negatively, and that guy doesn't deserve it, but you're just kind of feeling your back up against the wall, so I get it. We get into those situations, right? If the Rough Riders think A.C. Leonard is a stand-up citizen and they like him and he's a good guy in the locker room and this is just a one-time mistake, they'll bring him back. If he's a bad guy and he's bad for the football team and bad for the community, then they won't. Right? So I'd like to give those people the benefit of the doubt on this. I'd like to give A.C. Leonard the benefit of the doubt on this and think of this as just an isolated incident.
Scott Powell writing on YouTube. He says, checking in late, had some running around to do. Hello from Western North Carolina. Yo, Scott. Been a while since we saw you. Thanks for checking in. Over half our viewers reside in the United States of America. I still don't get it, but that's fine. I think it's great. They've been just so darn nice to us. Like I said down here. I guess one more thing on the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and the quote from the head coach, Craig Dickinson, is, we've forgiven A.C. Leonard for the entire incident. The 2-game suspension, the abuse of the official. And I'll tell you what, to whoever the crowd is that's wagging their finger at A.C. Leonard and want him cut, but his team's forgiven him and given him another chance. God help you if you're ever in a situation where you need to be forgiven. Okay? Because I've gotten second, third, fourth, and fifth chances. And eventually, as my brother says, eventually you hope people figure it out. And A.C. Leonard does not have any track record. Go Google his name. You know, so you can't listen to those people. And that's those people that are waving their fingers. And like I say, God help you that if you're ever in a situation that you need to be forgiven, remember what you said about other people that needed it. Brady watching in Muskoka, Ontario from the Hockey to Hell and Back podcast says, damn right, Rod. I'm just sick of these. Sick of them. I don't think the term snowflake in this instance applies, but you know what that crowd is, Darren. You're as good a wordsmith as me. What crowd is that?
I don't know. It's the crowd.
The looking down. My dad would say the looking down your nose crowd.
Right. And just people who want to criticize, and that we get that everywhere, and that's part of the business. But you don't want to look in the mirror. You want to look at somebody else. You want to blame other people for problems, and I get it. And for me, it's all about the people, right? And for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, they're forgiving him. You know, people need to be given a chance to grow and to learn from mistakes, right? Is this something that happened, or is this who this person is, right? And to me, it sounds like they're forgiving him for this thing that happened, this incident that happened, not for who he is as a person, right? So if that's the case, we make mistakes. If he's a bad guy, then he's a bad guy and that needs to be dealt with. But it sounds like he is a person who made a mistake. So the Rough Riders are willing to forgive him, and we move on.
People that don't even know A.C. Leonard are making the assumption, and that just burns my grits.
Yeah.
For the General in Calgary, gotta admit, Moose's hair is on point today. Always.
Thank you.
Chris Bird in King City, Ontario. Why do people want to cancel A.C. Leonard? He got suspended. Good enough. Because you got to cancel somebody. From Jimmy Two Tables watching in Calgary. Oh, is he going to be a busy dog in the next little while? He says the Carl Fix name drop was the highlight of today's show for me. Come on, I had a couple of pretty good rants. From Wayne in BC, what a great point, Rod. That's what I love about this show. It's not just about sports, but also human nature. I'm trying to sprinkle in a little bit of Jesus as we can. I bought a T-shirt the other day that says, Sundays are for football and Jesus. Want one?
Yeah.
The Buccaneers shirt that I was wearing the other day, everybody wants one of those.
Of course.
You want one?
Of course.
It says Brady.
Amazing.
Says Brady 12 on the back, by the way. Wow. The Hockey Club podcast. Still watching. He keeps calling you Daryl. That's the best part. Daryl's hair would flow in that sweet Florida breeze.
But you know he watches the show so much, because remember when Ron Duguay called me Daryl? And then I got the name tag that said Daryl. It's in my office. That's how you know you got a P1, right? He's paying attention. Yeah.
I might end up looking up Ron Duguay before this trip's over.
Why wouldn't you?
By the way, as I mentioned earlier, we got some great invitations. I've started a list. Can't even tell you what's been going on down here since we got here. Everybody's just been so welcoming. And for those that don't know, this reminds me of the old days. I think I was telling you this on the phone this morning, that the old radio station I used to work at, I used to do these shows all over the continent, all over the United States. Yeah. And the radio show, and the deal was at the radio station was you can do your show wherever the hell you want, but just make sure technically it doesn't screw up. And it never did screw up. And now we're doing it on television, and it's even better because you can see what we're doing. From Mike in Edmonton. This is like a personal text, but I'm going to read it anyways because this is what our viewers think of you and me, Moose.
Okay.
He's the guy that asked about the Seattle Kraken, who's going to score the first goal in franchise history, and he asked it yesterday, then he asked it again today, and we answered it both days. My bad, boys. Sorry, I thought you ran out of time and didn't see it. Thanks for taking the time to answer twice. From the Puck and Pigskin podcast in Red Deer. Rod, gotta say, you're looking great, my friend. It really shows today for some reason. Maybe not used to seeing you in a T-shirt. I almost didn't wear it. I thought, is this too dressed down? Is this too informal? Because I did get an Atlanta Falcons golf shirt the other day when I bought the Buccaneers shirt. I was going to wear that, but maybe later.
Oh, how about that?
How about that? Just reading comments as we roll, Moose. Anything you got to say as we sit here right now? Hey, how about a Canada West comment from you before we bring in Scott Flory, which I'm sure he is going to be logging in soon. You're calling the game this weekend?
I'm not their game, unfortunately. They're going to play Saturday in Calgary. I'm going to be in Winnipeg tomorrow. I'll be in Winnipeg tomorrow, and I'm going to be calling play-by-play for the Manitoba Bisons and the Regina Rams, the lid lifter for Canada West across the region. So that'll be fun. I'll be doing play-by-play for that, so I'll be in town. But for the Huskies, they are going to be, if not already, they're one of the top teams in the country. And the biggest thing, I was going to send you some questions or some notes, but that defense, right? Their defense is really good. But Nelson Lacombe went to the CFL. That was expected. Josh Haggerty went to Toronto and the Argonauts. That wasn't necessarily as expected. So, what's their secondary look like? Mason Nias coming back. They get Colton Klassen's coming back. I know he had dealt with an injury in the slot. So that's a big piece. He's an emotional leader, Colton Klassen. And they get their running back, right? Who is one of the best, if not the number one back in the country. So they're looking pretty good in Saskatoon. And I've got them once on my calendar here in the regular season. So I can't wait for that game.
Thank you for that. And we got Scott Flory coming on next, the Canadian Football Hall of Famer. From just from the viewers here, Sean McCormick. You know Sean from the Game Plus studios in Toronto.
Yes.
Which we are back on national television today across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Sean said, back from vacation, and see Rod is on a workcation. When and where will Darren's vacation take place? You want to come here and sit at this table at the Beach House, Moose, or would you like to be in some other sunny location, some other sunny locale?
Yeah, probably. We might as well blanket the country, right? But it'll happen. It'll happen. And that's what's so great about what we're doing with this show is you're watching us, do all these kind of pilot things, traveling in different areas and being able to deliver you, quality programming on a daily basis. Because that's what really matters for me is making sure we continue to deliver quality programming, but also having this opportunity to network and build these relationships all across North America at the same time. So I'll be out of the studio a little bit more often here too.
New viewer, just before we break, Rich Gable House watching on Facebook says, attendance in Ottawa last night, 5,392. Wow, no excuses, no matter the reasons. That's terrible for the CFL. What does that tell you? I don't know, but I feel like later on in viewer takeover, when you come back in overtime, we need to address that situation, Moose, because what I've been told in CFL circles is the teams budgeted for 2 sellouts, and they were fine. At least the Rough Riders did, and they've got their 2 sellouts, so they're not as worried. Sure, they like this man, but they're not. If they survived COVID last year, they're going to survive this.
Yeah.
I don't know what Ottawa's sellout string, what it was they needed to make their budget, but yeah, the attendance isn't great, but we're still in COVID times. You got the doctors in Alberta saying don't go to games for God's sakes. So I don't know what it means, but can you think about that for a bit? And then
I will.
We don't have time now. We're going to bring Flory on next, but think about that, and we'll talk about it in OT, okay?
You bet.
All right. The head coach of the U of S Huskies football program, Scott Flory, joins us next. We are broadcasting live from the Beach House in Pompano Beach, Florida, on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds. Feel in the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama. I live for the emotion. No one can take me down. Bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersenshop.com.
Oh yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. RP Show continues live from the Beach House in Pompano Beach, Florida. There is breaking news this morning that everybody in our comment section is talking about with regards to football. I'm going to read it, and then we'll debate it later with Moose. BC Lions defensive back Gary Peters has been suspended for one game due to verbal abuse and unacceptable behavior towards doping control officers. The suspension is effective immediately. So that is 2 and 2 weeks now, and it's a one-game suspension, and for whatever reason, it's going around. But it's ball for all this time of year down here in South Florida, in Canada with U Sports Junior, CFL, and what have you. And Scott Flory, of course, is the head coach of the U of S Huskies football program. They get rolling at the Dinos this week. Coach Flory, how you doing, sir? Happy Thursday to you.
I'm good, Rod. How are you?
Good. Always good to chat ball with you. Hey, before we look ahead to this week's game against the Dinos, can you talk about last weekend and the homecoming event? I saw Matt Kellett there smiling like crazy. Looked like a wonderful time in Saskatoon at that exhibition game and just the whole spectacle.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, not having played in a couple years, they have that, the conference, the exhibition game, get that and we also took it as an opportunity to bring all the alumni back, have an all-years reunion. We had a couple hundred alumni here, guys dating back playing in the 50s, and the way through, and it was great just to catch up and to see a whole bunch of guys that Husky football haven't been around for a while.
Yeah, it looked like a fantastic time, and kudos to you guys for putting that on. Now, you guys have been practicing for a heck of a long time, so I'm sure it must have felt good to put the pads on, hit somebody else last week, but then this week against the Dinos. I got to think no excuses, Scott. If this is all one big choreographed dance, you guys have had a lot of time to get it right. Yeah, no, it's been a long time coming. I think that was my first slide at training camp. It's been a long time to actually get back and building towards this. Yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, like I said, we had that opportunity on the weekend to be able to get some of those kinks out. But the Dinos, man, they're an awesome football team. They're just a great club and organization. A ton of respect for Wayne Harris and what he does, and we got our hands full definitely this Saturday. Well, listen, we've all lost time in COVID times. Like, are we not talking about the defending national champion Calgary Dinos? They're the last team to lift the Vanier, are they not? How similar are they to that team? You know, offensively, they're pretty much intact. I mean, they lost their quarterback. There's no doubt. I mean, Adam Sinagra, that's a loss, but they've got Josiah Joseph. They got a veteran guy there, so they're pretty much intact offensively. Defensively is where you'll see some changes, but you know, if history is any indicator, they're going to have just new, bigger, better guys there that are ready to play. So we're not anticipating any kind of changes or drop off there from a talent perspective. What about the U of S Huskies? I mean, my mind, when I think Huskies, I immediately thought of Nelson Lacombo. I mean, what was your reaction when he popped that Achilles in that pre-training camp session? Because so much was expected out of him. I think you guys thought he might have had a chance to start with the Rough Riders this year. How do you replace him, eh? You probably don't. And what did you think when that happened to Nelson? Yeah, no, I mean, Nelson's just one of those generational type players. He just doesn't come around every day, and we knew we weren't going to have him for his whole U Sports career. He's just such a talent and such a fantastic young man. Yeah, I mean, heartbroken. I mean, he not only went through, I mean, he had a workout down in Washington too with the Washington Football Club that, you know, was canceled because of a COVID. Some guy got COVID the morning of, and then getting to training camp there, and then the first day or whatever, however it happened. I know my heart broke for him. I know he said, you know, and just in talking to him, he's going to come back stronger and all that stuff. And I know he will. It's heartbreaking. But yeah, it's hard for us to. I mean, you don't really replace a guy like Nelson, but we do. We move on, and you know, and we've got guys. We lose in Hags, and we lose Matt Riley, and you know, we lose other really, really good football players. But that's the nature of college football, and that's the nature of football. Period. Is that you got to be able to be prepared, be deep enough, and be able to move forward. Yeah, that's a really good point. But I mean, I'm going to be following the Huskies closer than ever because of Mason Nyes, a quarterback, and Solomon Dreger. You've been grooming him for long enough. What's his role going to be on the Huskies offensive line this year? Went to high school with his parents, for God's sakes. That's how old we are, Scott. Yeah, no, there's a bunch of guys that we're pretty fortunate that we retain and we've done a pretty decent job of that and developing our guys, especially along the offensive line. So yeah, Solly's going to get in there, you know, and there's a bunch of other guys too that have been chomping at the bit for a few years here and through COVID and staying focused and determined. But yeah, that's part of the process and trying to build a deep football club that we're resilient enough to be able to withstand, you know, the impact of losing guys and the impact of injuries that are going to happen that are inevitable in football. I would be remiss if I didn't ask how Mason Nyes does look. I've been following his career since RMF. How's he looking here as the veteran stud? Yeah, no, Mason's looking good. He's got complete control and command of our offense. You know, he's just such a smart guy, and he's getting the ball out of his hands, which is great. And yeah, I mean, we changed a whole bunch offensively just to try and
clean some things up from a quarterback perspective. And like I said, he's got complete command of that, and he's been looking really good. And it's pretty nice that we also got a kid by name of Adam Macker. I don't know if I call him a kid anymore, but that definitely takes the pressure off of any quarterback where he just doesn't have to do everything himself. And we're excited. We're really excited to see what Saturday holds.
And hey, I got to ask you, how's the turf? When you pointed it out to me, you waved like Moses over the Black Sea, but it was covered in snow that day when you handed me that Huskies helmet. How's it look now that the snow's gone and you've had a lot of work on it?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's everybody likes new things, right? So it's nice to have the new things. We've broken it in enough. We've been on it and practicing and had that game. Guys, a little bit just trying to get their footing on it because it was a little bit different. It's a little bit spongier than the old stuff that was like concrete. So, but our guys have adjusted it. Man, it's gonna be great. We got these 2 games in a row. Got a little bit of a bye week before we can really put a homecoming game here together for our fans to be able to see it and be able to come in droves.
Well, I'll tell you what, congrats on that, all you got going on there in Huskyville, and I always appreciate chatting ball with you. We're watching real close, Scott. Good luck on Saturday, and hopefully we can do it here later in the fall.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Rod. And it looks pretty good down there. It looks nice and sunny, so good for you.
We'll see you when the season's over. Maybe we got room for you. Scott Flory, head coach of the Huskies football program, Canadian Football Hall of Famer, joining us as we broadcast from Pompano Beach, Florida today. When we come back, the Moose will join us with those CFL questions and full-on viewer takeover. Fire up the Prairie Mobile text line 306-840-8777 or the Facebook and YouTube streams. We'll be right back on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
HSBC Canada Sevens is coming to Edmonton for a legendary weekend on and off the field. Commonwealth Stadium, September 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at canadasevens.com.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
HSBC Canada Sevens is coming to Edmonton for a legendary weekend on and off the field. Commonwealth Stadium, September 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at canadasevens.com.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
It's time to get back to busy, and Capital Ford Lincoln is here to help. Check out our selection of new and used online or in-store. Don't see what you like? We have inventory arriving daily. Reserve yours now or work with our team of product specialists to customize and order the perfect new vehicle for you. Wait! Hold the phone. We still have brand new F-150s in stock and ready to go. Okay, back to the regular commercial. Plus, we're always paying top dollar for used vehicles, even if you don't buy from us. It's time to get back to busy with Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the final segment. It's Overtime, brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Your home for the UFC and the Seattle Kraken fan club. Just news from this morning. Buffalo Sabres center Jack Eichel has been stripped of his captaincy after he failed his pre-training camp physical and was placed on injured reserve. The move leaves the two sides no closer to a resolution over how to treat a herniated disc, which has sidelined the player for 6 months. The Blue Jays are in Minneapolis tonight, kicking off a 4-game set with the Twins. Jays enter the contest a half game back of the idle Yankees for the second American League wildcard berth. Steven Matz will start for the Jays. Max Scherzer tries to stay unbeaten with the Dodgers when he starts against Colorado today at Coors Field. The 37-year-old righty is 7-0 with a .78 ERA in 9 starts. And week 3 of the NFL season gets underway tonight in Houston, where the Texans will host the Carolina Panthers. Carolina off to an excellent start at 2-0. Quarterback Mills makes his NFL debut for the Texans, who are 1-1. And Moose wanted to talk about this. A plan to expand the college football playoff has stalled. The CFP Management Committee was not able to formulate a consensus yesterday on whether to grow the postseason format for American Division I college football from 4 to 12 teams. Concerns have been raised about some of the details, including how many games a team would end up playing in a season. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, order yours now at g2gbars.ca. Use the promo code RPShow and get 20% off. Okay, Moose, thanks for sitting through that. And you did want to talk about, you thought this was going to go through, did you not? The vote on the 4 to 12 teams?
Originally, this week, the hiccups have kind of come into place, and now you start to wonder, is this actually going to happen or not? The earliest I believe that it could happen is 2023. So it wasn't, something that's going to happen immediately for this season. But 2023 sounds like it was the earliest. I still think eventually it is what's best for college football. I think it will be good for them. TV deals and contracts, of course, money rules, right? And right now, I believe ESPN is in the middle of a 5-year deal, or they have 5 years remaining on their deal. This is an opportunity to extend that. You can extend this at an above-market ask, or you can start to bring in other networks and create a bidding process, because you're creating a whole slew of very, very entertaining, high-dollar games, right? Playoff games in college football are very, very attractive to sponsors. They're very attractive to the networks because they attract, large viewership. So I think that's part of it, too. I think you look at the other leagues, too. College football is controlled by the Power 5 schools. Hiccup this week. I'm very curious to see where it goes, but I'd love nothing more than to see a 12-team playoff.
Yeah, of course. And actually now with the concessions about players actually being able to benefit from the use of their likeness and image, I would have a very difficult time believing that the players were behind this vote. And I'm with you. Eventually it's going to happen. The question is, how soon?
Yeah.
By the way, the text line is open, 306-840-8777. That's 840-8777. Please write it down, put it on your coffee table, put it on your fridge. By the way, earlier on today, I had the rant about the COVID controls. Now in Alberta, doctors begging the Oilers and Flames not to have full arenas. Rod's Rant is brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating. Call us today and book your duct cleaning. I know if you mention the Rod Pedersen Show, they will give you 10% off. So that is better than a kick in the head, Moose. And I just got to say this on this CFL thing. I look at the CFL. They continue to be a ticket-driven league, revenue-wise. And I'm sitting here in South Florida, like a buddy of mine, football guy, Mike, you know him, calls me the other day, and he's like, how are things in South Florida? I'm like, what's it? Well, you know. And he's like, yeah, I know. It's great. You know what I mean? Like, they're just so forward-thinking. I mentioned, the tech thing and stuff. I'm like, you know how it is, Mike. And you know the Mike that I'm talking about. He's probably watching right now. But I think the CFL, we're talking about attendance issues and the rain. I mean, there was a comment in here earlier from Don Mitchell, but there's been so many comments come through, I can't find it. He said how crappy the weather conditions were last night. But I know the problems facing the CFL right now, well, they sure as hell aren't our problems. But I think that a lot of bad decisions going back many, many years, at least 10, maybe 20 years, are catching up to them now. And the fact that, they didn't play in 2020 bad enough. Now they're playing in 2021, shortened season. They can't have full crowds. Some can, some can't. I asked you earlier to put your thinking cap on. Not that it's your job to talk about this, but how much trouble is the CFL in? Because I'm at a point where I used to sit and wake at night and worry about this. I don't worry about it anymore.
I know. And the attendance issues, if there was less than 6,000 at the game last night, there are other things that go into it. It was raining. It was pouring rain last night. How many people want to stand and watch a game in the pouring rain? Not many. But we still do it once in a while. It's still shockingly low. But also, too, there are a growing number of people that don't really want to go out right now in the pandemic. They just don't. And even if they're vaxxed, not vaxxed, worried about catching it, not worried about catching it, they're just not that interested. So it is an issue for the CFL. I don't think you can make big life-altering, league-altering decisions based on what we're seeing in a pandemic right now. You got to see if this continues past this year to next year. You talked about teams budgeting for 2 sellouts. The Riders got theirs. Looks like I think Winnipeg's got theirs. You know, we have to find a way to get through this season. And if it continues past it, that's an issue. But attendance issues, things like that, you can't chalk it all up right now because we're in a pandemic. But we'll see.
Scott Powell in North Carolina says, yep, it would be a good thing, and maybe a team like Coastal Carolina would have a chance to get in. Who cares if we win it? That's the whole thing. I would have liked to see the NHL go to 24 teams. I can't believe they didn't. From the Hockey Club podcast, the official college football team of the RP shows the Florida State Seminoles. They stink this year, so you won't be accused of jumping on the bandwagon. They're chiming in from Tallahassee. Moose, see you tomorrow. Truth's in the coffee. It's Truth Serum.